Namaste to all of you, and let me thank Mrs. and Mr. Somani and Sri Aravind Suji for this wonderful event here, and also for inviting me as a speaker. We had, of course, a very fantastic bulk of information since yesterday about many types of interventions, therapies, and I'm here today as the last speaker to tell you something about an entirely different stream of intervention, Ayurveda. Of course, I hope that those from India may not be that strange about the word Ayurveda, because it is a part and parcel of the Indian gene. I will just rush through the slides because I have got a big bunch of slides with me. Yeah, this is my mentor, Guru, Padma Bhushan K. Raghavan Tirumulpadu, my inspiration for everything in Ayurveda. In this presentation, I'll be giving a brief introduction about what is Ayurveda, because I know that especially those from outside India may not be knowing it. And what do we do in Sunethri? Then what is Supra or Sunethri protocol for autism? Then I'll be detailing something about the Supra protocol and also something about the theoretical platform of Supra on which it evolved. These will be the key words which I'll be using in my presentation: Ayurveda, Agni, Ojas, and Manas. These are Sanskrit terms. I'll be explaining them to the best level possible. Ayurveda is the traditional Indian system of medicine, which is approximately 5,000 years old. And very interestingly, it could be the only traditional system in the world which continues to retain its original concepts and applications over all these years. It is widely practiced all over India and other countries of the subcontinent, and these days even in the West, because the interest towards alternative systems in general and Ayurveda in particular is increasing world around. And in India, this is practiced in spite of all the urban-rural divide. It enjoys a very high level of social patronage in certain parts of India, especially in Kerala. I am from Kerala. And by the World Health Organization, Ayurveda is considered as one of the whole system medicine. That's an interesting term, whole system of medicine. And it's having a holistic approach towards what is health, what is illness, what is healing, and it uses complete healing methods. It uses dietary changes, environmental modifications, and of course medicines to treat diseases. And as part of medicines, we use herbs, metals and minerals, and animal products. This is very important, especially in our present context. Ayurveda considers the relationship between mind and body as very crucial in the manifestation of behavioral development. They are two separate entities but complementary to each other, and body without mind is not a subject matter in Ayurveda. This slide I will detail the 4 quarters of human existence, which I will be detailing later. Yeah, this is Sunethri Ayurveda Ashram entry. It's an Ayurvedic treatment facility in central Kerala, one of the southern states of India. Sunethri Ayurveda Ashram provides classical Ayurvedic treatments, and it provides specialized Ayurvedic care, maybe an exclusive center for childhood autism. And we developed an Ayurvedic protocol for the treatment of childhood autism. The childhood autism I am repeating because we have almost no expertise in adult autism. This is what we are doing in Sunethri. We provide outpatient consultations, then Ayurvedic assessment We were discussing about many tools of assessing the children within the spectrum, and also the treatment results or treatment outcomes of the interventions and everything. Then parent counseling, inpatient residential facility. As part of our protocol, we ask the parents to bring their children and stay in the facility for a couple of weeks in a year maybe. So we provide inpatient residential facility. We manufacture and dispense Ayurvedic medicines for these kids, and we prepare special diet, of course, for the residential candidates. Sunethri protocol for autism, or what we call as Supra, is an Ayurvedic protocol for the treatment of childhood autism, which is in practice since 2002. Hundreds of parents from almost, to be precise, I think we have more than 2,000 kids from 2002 onwards on different areas of the spectrum and different periods of time who depends on this protocol. Majority of them, of course, Indians, follow it for their children. As a gist, I think I will present the Sunethri protocol. It has got 3 phases. The time duration varies from child to child. Hospital stay is minimal, but of course recurring. Safety concerns, nil observed yet. Constraints, palatability of medicines and dietary restrictions. Palatability, we are using herbal decoctions, pills and many things which obviously is bitter in taste, and the children find it very difficult in the initial phase. Other programs and trainings, we do not have any other programs other than Ayurveda. But interestingly, most of our kids are on some other programs of training. Sometimes ABA, sometimes something else, that training, that special education or something like that. And it can be effectively added on to Supra. And the limitations, no single roof training facilities. We don't have any training facilities in one center, and we have only one center. So these are the limitations. Supra has got 3 phases. Here onwards I will be using some Sanskrit terms. Of course I will be explaining them. Phase 1 is to improve the gut status by optimizing Agni. Number 2, the phase 2 is detoxify the body and or pathways. And phase 3, improve the cognitive faculties. Phase 1 is done by optimizing the Agni, which I already told. This can extend up to 3 months from the first visit, and during the first visit we evaluate the child, then explaining the philosophy of the protocol and do the parent counseling. We encourage them to follow because persistence or perseverance is an essential part of success for any protocol. Then explaining the diet, give them practical tips and also recipes, generating the initial prescription and dispensing the first medicines maybe for the next 3 months. And we observe that by the completion of the phase 1, there should be significant changes in the gut status. Symptoms like constipation or diarrhea, I think the comorbidity conditions which we were discussing in the morning sessions, flatulence, fussy eating, etc., shows significant improvement. Let me add at this point of time that if the child is not showing the desired outcome in the phase 1, we discourage the parent to continue in our protocol, because I think he may not be the right candidate for Supra. Then the recurrent infections and other comorbidities should come under control after the first phase. Behavior should improve accordingly. And the child should calm down significantly, and obviously the attention span should improve. And the child should be more connected to the surroundings. As far as the phase 2 is concerned, we intend to detoxify the body as well as its internal pathways. This is the residential phase. We ask the parent to come to the center and stay there for 2 to 3 weeks. There will be Ayurvedic therapies during the sitting. These are the list of therapies, which are all Sanskrit and Malayalam terms. I have bracketed something to understand. Oil massage, dhara, head wrap with herbal paste, medicated enemas with oils, ghee and decoctions, special massages with medically processed rice, nasal drops, inhalations and fumigations. I will show you some photographs. This is a child getting massage, oil massage. Then this is the massage with a specially medicated rice paste. I think the picture is clear. Then this is a medicated enema done to the child. These are herbal head wraps. We call it thala podichil in Malayalam or local language. Dhara with oil. You see the oil is just getting poured onto the child of child's head. This is takradhara. Here the same procedure is done, but the liquid used is medicated buttermilk. This direct inhalation of herbal powders. This is the fumigating the room where herbal, of course it is medicated fumes in the rooms where the child stay. Yeah, and at the end of this could reach up to 3 weeks. And the outcomes that we observe is better sleep patterns, improved muscle tone and motor coordination, reduced hyperactivity and better attention span, self-stimulations and sensory seekings come down, better eye contact, increased receptivity to commands and suggestions, better socialization, and that is what we expect. And in the phase 3 is to improve the cognitive faculties. It's a home-based program. We discharge the child from the hospital, and this time spreads up to 3 months. We use special Ayurvedic medicines called Medhya Rasayanas. We use gold preparations liberally, medicated ghee, coconut oil, and many other herbal medicines are used along with the diet. Diet we continue. Here we observe that there is remarkable improvement in overall behavioral issues as scored by the parents. We use a scoring system. Better expressive language, improved academic performance as shown by the school reports. And this is not the end. We will have to repeat because target is not attained most of the time in one sitting. Optimizing the Agni is the baseline always. Phase 2 and 3 will be repeated at regular intervals. Diet and basic medicines will be continued. Now I will tell something about the theoretical platform on which the concept of supra was evolved. Of course, it is more philosophy than science, because basically Indian science evolved almost completely from philosophical thinking. Who am I? Or what is the meaning of human existence? How human life is explained? All these things were the serious concerns of Indian philosophers. And the science may be a later term, that's why I put them in bracket. See, humans are, according to Indian philosophy as well as Ayurveda specifically, is a blend of 4 quarters. It includes body, the sensory and motor spheres, the mind, and the Atma. Atma is soul, maybe, or the spirit, or whatever you call it, the life principle of human existence. So, it should be seen as a blend, not as a body alone, not a mind alone, sensory or motor alone. So, as long as this integration is intact and complete and in perfect sync, we enjoy health. Now, I will explain what Agni is, which was a technical term. Agni means fire. This is a mythological representation of Agni, a two-faceted lord or idol. And Agni represents the sum total of all faculties in a living body, which facilitates digestion, assimilation, and transformations or changes of all sort. And it resides in the gut, keeps the channels and pathways intact, has decisive role in defining the functional status of all other principles. See, we yesterday started with lighting a lamp here, you all remember. It's not just for the lighting the stage. We make Agni, fire, as the witness of all holy events in life. Everything from birth to death, everything is to be witnessed by fire. This is a representation of a yajna which is happening. See, Agni in Ayurveda, Agni is the foundation stone of health and illness. Agni. So, preserve Agni is the motto of Indian life theory. As long as the Agni is working properly in a human body, the nourishment will be proper, transformations will be optimized, so toxins burned off or eliminated completely. Internal atmosphere, that is one major concept which I am going to explain next, will be brilliant, no illness, mental faculties will be intact, and aging will be slow. When Agni is not proper, nourishment will be deranged, risk of no or faulty transformations, toxins accumulate, internal atmosphere will be polluted, illness of any sort, mental faculties will be tainted, and faster aging. Internal atmosphere, that's one word. We propose that as if we are dealing about the weather outside, the climate outside. We have an internal atmosphere, internal climate. So when we are discussing about climate change in the global scenario, we should also think about the climate change within. So this is technically we call as ojas, and it facilitates proper functioning of the body-mind complement. Important in maintaining a proper sync between different systems within, and proper Agni keeps the internal atmosphere toxin free. Good ojas means weak toxistatus, weak ojas means stronger the toxins. Now mental faculties, which we call as mana or man in Hindi or manas in Sanskrit, thinking, imagination, discrimination, all these faculties are connected with the manas or the mental faculties, and it is maybe regarded as the cognitive sum of the individual. Ojas links the functions of the Agni and manas. So we propose that there is a ojas, Agni, manas triangle within the body, and Agni through the media of ojas remarkably influence in determining the status of mental health. ASD in Ayurveda is explained as a deranged state of Om triangle, OAM triangle. Tainted gut. The guts of the kids with ASD are tainted for many reasons. There are a lot of studies coming out, the gut flora or that thing, this thing. Anyway, I think gut is going to be the kingpin in explaining ASD. That is what we feel. The reasons may be different and often debatable, but it is our experience that once the issue of the gut is settled, most of the kids are comfortable. Agni in ASD kids is either underperforming or malperforming, and so ojas, the internal atmosphere, is clouded or inferior in quality, and the system is loaded with toxins. Clean Agni. Agni detoxifies when it is clean. Concept behind Supra is that a clean or toxin-free Agni ensures optimized ojas and sets up a solid platform for proper functioning of manas. This is seen to work well with kids of almost all nationality in all types below the age of 10 invariably. Diet, you are what you eat. So we propose diet, which is important. While trying to detoxify the system, entry of potential toxins has to be avoided. Despite the lack of evidence, of course it's a very contradictory thing, dietary modifications are seen to work well with the ASV kids, which is experiential than experimental, our experience. This is the diet by and large what we propose. Traditional stuffs and recipes and ways of cooking to the best level possible. Homemade food, coconut and products and its products are included liberally, especially we South Indians use a lot of coconut. Fruits and cooked local vegetables, rice and ragi, the finger millet, tapioca, arrowroot, honey, palm sugar and jaggery are allowed to use. Whole grains are preferred over processed ones. Gluten-free, casein-free, soya-free diet suggested with some modifications. Refined sugars, junks, chemicals, additives, artificial tastemakers, colors strictly avoided. Banana, apples, cashew nuts, peanuts restricted for literary reasons, which is coming from various parts of the studies. Intermittent feeding on snacking is discouraged. Supra characteristics: it is safe, it is effective, it is sustainable, economical, a whole system concept of body, mind, health and disease is adopted. It can be replicated anywhere with the proper adaptations. All sorts of training and supports like speech therapy, OT, IEP, ABA, music, dance, etc. gives better results when done along with supra. The point is very simple. Medicines or trainings are not the sole answer for autism. Yes, early diagnosis, early intervention and intensive trainings are important. Do the intervention in a non-turbulent, non-toxic system. That is the message. You resort to any training, doesn't matter. We are discussing about inputs from outside. I'm going to give him 42 hours training a week. I'm going to give him this special education, that therapy, this. All these things are inputs from outside. Just think about what is happening within. What is the status of the weather inside, the climate inside, the atmosphere inside? Make it turbulent free, non-turbulent, toxin free. Then all these things are going to give you multifold outcomes. Ayurveda helps making the system non-turbulent, composed and receptive. Every intervention works better along with or after Ayurvedic treatments. We have got hundreds of kids from US, Indian kids, mainly from the state of Andhra Pradesh, now Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So every non-interventions these kids are getting. So I can, of course I do not have a statistics, but trust me, my kids who are under Ayurveda are performing much better with all these therapies when it is done with Ayurveda. Supra advocates early diagnosis because time is very important. From my maybe 16 odd years, I can tell you that there should be some sort of a priority. Up to the age of 10, I would strongly recommend try to cure the disease. If it is less than 5, no doubt try to cure the disease. But after 10, the spectrum is changing, it is becoming more manageable. Maybe specific issues could be addressed. After 15, I think rehabilitate, skill development, vocational training or whatever it is. There is no meaning, I think, after 18 to treat a autistic kid for curing him. But age 3, 4, 2, 1, give the child to me. We will try to cure him, not to rehabilitate. So time is very important. Diet and medicine, clean body, clean system. Every training works well in a clean system. Supportive tools, because total approach is very important. We have no exclusive program for autism. Committed parents, because consistency is going to be the kingpin around which everything is going to revolve. So with this I conclude, but I would like to add a few more points which I got say maybe from here. The philosophical side of human existence should not be overlooked. In the morning, I think most of the presentations, we do not know what the exact picture is. We are seeing pieces from this side, like 4 blind persons seeing an elephant. So all these imageries and metaphors we used in the morning presentations. So when you have to see one thing in total, sometimes holistic philosophy may be much beneficial than reductionist science many a times. So it should not be overlooked or ignored. In India, we have many philosophical discourses and works that looked into the philosophical aspects of human existence, the mind-body complement. There are some textbooks like our Upanishads, our Gita, our Yoga Vasishtam, which has elaborate discussions regarding how the human existence is and how it is in connection with the Prakriti around. So focus on those aspects, please. But these are not scientifically explained, because Indian mind were always storytellers. We told everything as a story. Kadhaya mama, that is our motto. So kadha, storytelling is our art. Then, regarding Ayurveda, Ayurveda may be the most obvious or gross manifestation of Indian wisdom with regard to the explorations they made in the field of human suffering. We have plenty of philosophy, but this philosophy is put into practice in certain areas. Ayurveda is one such area where all our philosophical wisdom is put into one point, one coherent area, where the sole aim is to reduce human suffering and to bring up brilliant minds and bodies. So, Ayurveda needs attention. Scientificity is often a big challenge when we deal with traditional systems, but trust me, Ayurveda is not about just herbalism or religious rituals. Somebody was telling about the conference we had in Trivandrum last year. It is Kedar's Autism School. Now we have an Ayurvedic full-timer doctor in Kedar School. And I strongly hope that IAC will have an Ayurvedic research center attached to it. I hope somebody is listening to it. And I would strongly recommend the St. John's Medical College, Dr. Ashok, to include Ayurveda in his unit of hope. And also in Apollo Glen Eagles, Dr. Jai Ranjan Ram may listen, I hope. And I have suggested this to Dr. Anil Kundraji to include Ayurveda in autism, in his autism ashram. Because Ayurveda is the heritage of India. We all Indians deserve its full advantage. So, I look forward to have 100